Welcome to the Taubnernaut podcast. We're recording here in Cincinnati in my own house. I am Nathan Crumpler, the bass player.
And I am Vinny Taubner, the guitar player.
And also lead singer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what were you about to bring up?
Oh, I was just going to ask you, does that kind of growl have a formal name, you know? That kind of singing. But most people just call it like growling or...
Yeah, it's just growling.
Yeah.
Some people call it Cookie Monster vocals.
But we shouldn't go too much into what the vocals are going to be like on the next single because it'll be too much of a giveaway, you know?
Oh, man.
Are you excited to talk about it?
I feel like you just gave it away, man.
A big component of it, yes.
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't matter to me, though, because it's...
all two of the people who listen to this podcast, they're going to get spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. They get a...
All right, so here's our current situation. We are making a... oh, shit, I think you might be, like, ridiculously... Can you speak into your mic?
Yeah. Am I too high? Am I...
No, I thought you were, like, a lot lower than me, but we'll level it out later. I have audio wizardry powers.
That's cool. Comes in handy, I guess.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, all right. Current situation.
Yeah.
I think it's clipped there. Our current situation is that our drummer currently lives in Florida. He used to live here in good old Cincinnati, but then he moved to Florida because he doesn't like the cold. He doesn't like snow. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the weather.
Yeah, he's a drummer. He's he uses like electronic drum kit, which is convenient in a lot of ways, but it doesn't have that sound of a actual. I don't know. To be fair, I think a lot of people don't notice.
Don't know what?
Don't notice the difference between like electronic drum kit and like a.
I think you're right, man. I think they're so good nowadays. Yeah. Just superior. People were saying how they love the sound of the drums, and some of them did think it was acoustic drums, but it wasn't. It was a drum kit, and also the cymbals pose a problem, don't they? Because they're all wired together so that like that's one.
I think he has
track, right?
I think he has acoustic cymbals.
Oh, but just an electric set.
Yeah, I think he has like the drums are electric, but the cymbals are acoustic. So he uses like a overhead microphone. He might have changed it recently. But typically, at least like when he was over my house, when we recorded, what's that? Infectious?
Yeah.
Which Mike named, by the way. When we recorded that album, like he had an electric drum kit, and we just mic'd the cymbals that he had, which were metal cymbals and not.
But I guess the problem is on the mixing end is that you really want to get a mic for like almost each cymbal, right?
Typically, I don't know. Like,
or at least have it be a couple tracks.
I'm not expert when it comes to recording drums, but typically there's usually just like two overheads, a left and a right, and those ones are pretty good at getting the cymbals. Okay. But like, if you want, you can just like mic every single instrument in the drum in a drum set, but that's its own problems.
Yeah, I imagine. That's cool. Yeah. So, what do you think about where? What would if you had to describe where we are right now for Taubnernaut, where we're at in the process?
Oh man.
What would you say?
We got a lot done. There's some stuff we need to do, but we got a lot done. I think. Let's see.
Well, you know I'm saying a song every 30 days, right? If we can.
Oh yeah, we can. That's the goal. Yeah, I think we can do that.
Oh, good.
So we already like. Here's the way we operate. All right. Like I said, our drummer, Mike the drummer, he lives in Florida. So like whenever we record something, we send it to him. So we, as in like the bassist, the guitarist, and the singer, we can do that in house, and then we email the tracks to Mike. So he puts the drums underneath it, and then we send the whole thing. We send all the individual tracks to I forgot that guy's name. Jeremiah.
Yeah.
We send it to him for mixing and mastering.
Yes, and his name is Jeremiah Johnson, and I'm not. That's not a joke. That is seriously his name.
Why
There's a movie in the 1970s called Jeremiah Johnson. It was like the hippie era, type people.
I have a funny story that has to do with names. Okay, so a long time ago, back in the olden days when I lived in California, I was at this metal concert. It was in this place called the Workshop, and this place is pretty much like a shack. I'm not gonna say it's in the middle of nowhere, because like there's plenty of like buildings and structures around, but it's like it's pretty much a shack. There's like a bunch of like broken down vehicles and like car parts. It's like strewn in like the backyard and the
so your average backyard in Maine, basically.
I mean, if I'm describing something that sounds very familiar to you, I can't contradict that. Okay, but anyway, that's what this place was. It was just like a shed in like Ceres, California. And so they would have music shows there all the time. A lot of times they're free. Sometimes like people would be charged to go there. And so this one time there's this music festival. I forgot what it's called, but there's a music festival there where all these metal bands are playing. And like halfway through the show, this guy gets on stage and he starts talking about how like he was part of this organization called AFAR. It stands for oh crap! I forgot the acronym stands for. It's like
AFAR.
Something like I honestly I tried to look it up. I couldn't find it. But if you can find it, awesome. But it's like Association for Artist Rescue. I think that's what it's called.
AFAR.
Yeah, Association for Artist Rescue. That's what that's what the acronym stands for. He talks about how like this organization, they go all around the world to like where like there are oppressive regimes,
right? And
they try to get like musicians who are being persecuted. They try to get them out of there. And so like they talk about how like they got this guy out here from Iran. And I'm looking around, it's like, okay, well, who's here from Iran? See if I can like spot them, So anyway, the guy gets off stage. The band play. I forgot what band played next, but the band plays. They stop. They're tearing down, and like the next band is setting up. So in between bands, I wander over to like the merch tables where these different bands are selling their merchandise. So while I'm standing there, this guy next to me, he turns to me and he's like, "Hey, my name's Steve." I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Steve?" And I'm looking up and down like, "Are you the guy from Iran?" And this guy spoke, this guy spoke perfect English.
Right.
You would never know that this guy was from a foreign country.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And so he was wearing like the normal metalhead garb.
So how did you know?
Well, okay.
I'm
getting there.
Okay.
He's wearing the regular metalhead garb. He's wearing jeans. He's wearing like a leather jacket. He had like a metal t-shirt. I forgot which metal t-shirt it was, but he's wearing a metal t-shirt. But reason how I figured it out is because he had this checkered scarf around his neck. Oh. And when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of History Channel, and this is before they became all like Pawn Stars and Ancient Aliens, when they actually talked about actual history.
Yeah.
That's when I was watching the History Channel, and like every time they did like a segment on like something that happened in the Middle East, like something that happened in Israel, something happened in Iraq, Iran, et cetera, like a lot of these Middle Eastern dudes would have like this black and white checkered scarves.
Right.
And he was wearing one of those, so I was like, oh, is that? And that's how I guess he's from Iran.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay. And so he's surprised I told him that because he's wearing that scarf. That's how I knew he was from Iran. So then I'm like, if you're from Iran, how do you get a name like Steve? Yeah. He's like, oh, my dad was a huge Steve McQueen fan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I just imagine him introducing like his kids, his family. He's like, all right, these are my three sons, Muhammad, Ahmed, and Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's Steve McQueen. Yeah. Huh. That's not how I would go about naming my kids.
Oh fuck! I'm clipping. You wouldn't name your kids after a famous foreigner?
Yeah, or a famous person even.
Or a famous person.
Yeah, that's well. You know what? And Jeremiah Johnson, I don't think was like. I think the movie wasn't even popular before his birth, or had not yet occurred. You know, he was So he got the name. It had no relationship to the movie whatsoever, except for the
to
fact.
To be frank, I have no idea what movie you're talking about.
Well, I don't think the things we watched in our youth were similar. What were the big movies of your youth?
Space Jam?
Nope. Space Jam. This is what I'm talking about, man. I grew up in the country and I'm white. You grew up.
I'm sure plenty of white people watch Space Jam. Don't give me that shit, man.
Oh yeah, you bet, man. You kidding me? Everyone loves Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Michael Jordan. And then all the other people, millions of people who like Michael Jackson are also benefiting. Right? Because he was in that, right? Wasn't he? Space Jam? Or his song was in it. Right? Because I remember he had this song like, Jam, what you got? You know, you can barely understand what the hell he's saying, but he says jam.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up to see if he was in that movie or if one of his songs were in that movie.
I think it was.
And I think R. Kelly was in that movie. Or in the movie.
Jesus.
He was in the, what?
Well, R. Kelly, I am not a big supporter of, like, wasn't he like caught fondling like 15-year-old girl or something?
I honestly don't know, but there's this video of him. Like, he's on stage, and he's, like, some country in Africa. I forgot which one.
Yeah.
But he's in some country in Africa talking about, like, trying to get girls to, like, come back to him in the United States if, like, they have their shots. But he's just, like, singing it, though.
Yeah.
Like, have you had your shots? Do you have your paperwork? Do you have your passport? Have you had your shots? He was singing it.
Yeah.
Like,
so you think there was some, like, was that just for entertainment purposes, or was there some ulterior motive?
I think R. Kelly is kind of a crazy person, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I think he's, like, crazy, but not as popular as Kanye. So that's why you don't hear much about R. Kelly unless he's, like, doing something crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people don't mess around, like, with that, especially when it deals with, like, manipulating kind of probably, younger people into sexual relationships.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked. That's why that guy got caught. That one guy got caught and then he killed himself, but he was probably killed.
You talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's the thing that turned everybody conspiracy theories. Like, nobody believed that guy just killed himself. And, like, the two security guards were, like just fell asleep at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nobody believed that shit.
Well, they do. They probably do head checks during the night, like every 20 minutes or every half hour.
Well, they're supposed to check, but they didn't check.
But they didn't check.
No, they went to sleep.
They didn't sign it in.
They quote unquote went to sleep
at the same time.
Yeah,
they probably days earlier were in front of a bunch of other people who seemed interested in what they were saying, and he said, "You are." My thoughts have on you know how this goes.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, you take this one.
Me? Take this one.
We'll take up where I've left off.
I don't know where you were going, so I can't take up what you left off, man.
Because I forgot what you had said.
How, like, everybody's a conspiracy theorist? Because, like...
Yeah.
Like, nobody believed the bullshit they were saying. And then people just went off their business. Like, nothing... Like, I feel like people give... government way too much of a free pass. You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So that's fucked. But what were we talking about?
Right before that, we were talking about Space Jam because you asked me about movies that are big in my youth.
Right.
One was Space Jam. Another one was The Matrix.
Oh, Matrix was huge. Yeah. That was like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Matrix, and then there was like. Also, that strange reminds me of The Matrix. There's Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise and.
To be honest, I'm not that much of a movie buff, so I can't.
Well, it has that same theme of like facing: is this life a digital life? Are we just like digital images on a? Do you know what I'm saying?
There are people who think that we're like this is all a
simulation.
Yeah, a simulation.
A simulation that can feel itself, obviously.
It can feel itself?
Like, if I'm part of a simulation, this part of the simulation, which is my body, has senses, and you can smell, you can taste, you can touch. Yeah. So I honestly, I love the digital theories.
Yeah, put your mic closer to you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I should close be closer to the.
Yeah, it's gonna be a.
But no, I love theories with that this is a digital simulation because that makes so much sense. How it's so fucked up too.
Yeah.
I mean, the world's fucked up, so obviously.
I don't know. There are some good things in the world.
Very few.
No, there are plenty of good things. Like, what is it?
Well, one of the worst things to me to be in the world, it has the most people, the average.
What?
The worst thing to be in life to me is an average person.
That's the worst thing?
It's one of the worst things you could be.
Well, I mean, axiomatically, it'd be worse to be below average.
No, because when you're below average, you're not even smart enough to evaluate yourself in the context of other people.
Wait, do you mean like? Because you said the worst thing in the world is to be average.
Yes.
And so average can be all kinds of
things. Yeah.
Yeah, the average is like an intersection of like all kinds of things. There's like intelligence, there's height, there's athletic ability, there's I don't know, charisma, there's attractiveness. So when you say like average, I thought you meant like I didn't know you specifically mean like. Do you mean intelligence?
That's a really good question. I think it's got to be more than just intelligence, but maybe not everything you described.
Well, here's the thing. When you said average, I just realized you're wearing a purple shirt.
This is purple?
It looks purple.
I thought it was violet or a plum.
Plum,
but I honestly thought it was burgundy.
Like,
what's wrong with? Is it gay color?
No. The color itself isn't gay, but describing by it with plum. Like if you describe a color with like a fruit or a flower or anything other, just like a general color, like
all right, I get
red, blue, green, purple. Okay, that's what.
But I'm an artist, man, and artists know
what straight men call colors. Okay,
too.
It's like women and the gays. Nothing wrong being a woman, nothing wrong being gay. It's just they have a different way of expressing themselves.
Right.
Okay. But like you call like a shirt plum. You call a shirt salmon or something. Like you call a color like plum or salmon. Mm-hmm. Like that's like a gay feminine way of colors. You know. Oh, speaking of colors, my mom.
I disagree.
All right. You can be wrong if you want. I'm not going to stop you.
No, I mean...
Hold on, my mom. I got another story, okay? Like, back in the day, back in California, when I was living at my mom's place, she told us to paint our backyard fence. She's fine. She's like, all right, paint it whatever you want. Just don't paint it pink.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Any color. Don't paint it pink. So I go to the paint. I go to Orchard Supply Hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at their colors, and it's like I was having trouble finding like red. There's a bunch of other colors that were like similar to red. There was like burgundy. There was like salmon. There was all kinds of like
these
reddish
colors that you were very comfortable describing those colors right then. Just then, you sounded kind of gay, man. That's all I gotta say.
Well, it's a good thing.
Burgundy? What the hell is that?
It's a good thing. Well, it's a good thing.
What are we drinking?
It's a good thing that there's nothing wrong with being gay. Okay, but anyway,
like not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. Anyway, the hell. Anyway, I was looking through this and I finally found red. You know, there's no fancy description to it. It's just red.
Just plain old red.
So I'm like, all right, fine, awesome. Like, there's some lady helping me. I was like, awesome, red. So I bought like a red paint can.
And how'd it come out? You like it?
Just hold on.
All right, okay.
We're getting there. So I go home. We start painting the fence red. Me and my younger brother. And so we get like probably like a third of the way through, and like we ran out of paint. Mm-hmm. And so it just so happens that like the sun was hitting the newly colored red fence, and it's just reflecting a lot of light into the house. And so like,
whoa, interesting.
Yeah, so like through the blinds, you can see this red hue.
Really?
Yeah, it was like painting the inside of the house red.
That's incredible.
And so my mom saw that. It's like, okay, you gotta paint that different color.
Oh, because that's the devil's colors?
No. It's because it's just very bright. Very bright. It was like the sun was bouncing off of it into our house.
I was.
To be fair, my mom is very religious, but that's not why.
She is?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, I assume she was, but.
Yeah, but that's nothing to do with it. It's just like it's a very bright color.
Yeah.
And it's like reflecting that light into the red light into our house. And it's like she didn't want that. So it's like, well, since you're going to get more paint anyway, then get a different color. I think we ended up like buying burgundy.
Yeah.
And so
burgundy's good. That's that's like you're just not. You're kind of as cool as Satan, but you really aren't. So no, but
wait. Red does not always have to be Satan. Maybe they were just really into Knuckles from the Sonic franchise.
But there's a church in my neighborhood that's red.
Right.
Seems strange to me.
Right.
But if they really wanted to get someone's attention, so
where did I do my phone? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a text message. I think it's about the work. So is there anything in particular you want to?
So tell me the process of this. Once we record this, then it's going to go into our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm going to do some audio wizardry to this, and then I'll put it into. Then I'll upload it to our YouTube channel.
And then you send me the link, and I can put it on Instagram.
Oh, I'm not totally sure. I think I might upload it as like unlisted.
Mm-hmm.
And so like on Instagram you can put the on Instagram you can put the link to the unlisted, but then I'll just like chop this up into like the juicy parts. I don't know if they're gonna be juicy parts, but just like chop it up in little chunks and like put up the best parts
for promoting it.
Yeah, for promoting it.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the thing is, like, if you like have like these hour-long streams, because there's a fucking algorithm that goes on to with YouTube, and if you have like these like hour-long to 2-hour-long streams, the algorithm will pick that up and think like, okay, I'm going to direct these
interrupt it or
no, I'm going to direct this channel to the to people who like listening to like 100 or 1 hour to 2 hour streams,
Right.
And so like I don't really know. I don't know if that's how much that's going to matter, but that might that's something to consider.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so is there anything you want to talk about in particular? Because we can talk about anything.
We talked about the first song.
By the way, we don't have to talk about music. We can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, I know. But I would actually like to talk about one more thing with the music is that how are you feeling? A lot of people recognize and see that Eternal Black stylistically is a departure from what we have been doing. So did you do that intent? Were you in your end of things? You're the main writer of the song, right?
Yeah.
Aside from the guitar, but you you were just writing a song, right?
Yeah.
You didn't mean that it would be a departure or whatever. Yeah.
No. I heard it's kind of like I don't know. Kind of played out to like be like a doom metal and write songs about space, but I don't really care. I just felt like writing a song about space, so I started writing. I grew up playing first person shooters, and one of those games was like Doom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love
and like they keep making Doom games, so I'm pretty sure people, even if you're like 20-something years old, you're probably somewhat familiar with the Doom franchise. And so like I started playing it when it was like 2-dimensional. Well, I mean I don't know. It was still 3D, but it didn't have like the graphics. Where like the characters, I should say, the characters were 2-dimensional. Or like if you try to like walk around them, they would always be facing you. And when like they died, it was just like a 2-dimensional sprite that was always facing you. I remember my we used to play a lot of first-person shooters, my brothers and I, and we installed this mod for Doom. Sorry, we installed this mod for Doom, where like once somebody dies, well, originally when you play player versus player deathmatch, when somebody died, like their character just fall on the ground, and then you see that 2-dimensional character just constantly looking at you. Well, when somebody we installed this mod where like when somebody died, instead of like their body falling on the ground, you have like this 2-dimensional sprite just standing up, so it looked like they're still alive. And so like you would
That's confusing.
yeah, that's the thing. Like you would try to like trap people. You try to like trick people, but like standing amongst the dead bodies and just like looking at them so they don't know which one's you.
Oh, that's sweet. Nice. Yeah, you get that you guys adapt to the situation and kill the enemy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We did play Doom in my household because my uncle got into computers at a very young age. Like I'm not sure if he's one of those people who foresaw computers becoming big in the 70s, but he definitely knew that it was something he could do, and so he always had video games for us. But our parents didn't allow us to have video games.
Really?
Yeah, we weren't allowed. We're allowed, like this one ColecoVision, which is like
I've heard of that,
the
but I'm not
rip-off
familiar with
version
it.
of Atari. And they had this great game called Q*bert. Have you ever played Q*bert?
I've never played Q*bert.
Yeah. And they had some Smurfs game that was really fun to play, and baseball, and ColecoVision was great. And it is true that we did start playing video games a lot more than we probably should have.
Let's see. Talk about video games. Let's talk about video game music. You ever play a game called Secret Mana?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, that game was
I
pretty
told
good.
you I don't play video games.
Oh yeah. It's a Super Nintendo game, and it's pretty good music.
Yeah, and of course I know the Mario music is awesome. You know, da 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 da. I even played that in a gig in college. The band that I was playing with, and we just like took a break and played that song for everyone.
Cool. Keep your mic next to your mouth. I don't know why this is so difficult for you.
I don't know. I'm loose with the mic here. You should see me when I'm drinking.
Oh man.
No.
All right. Shit. I'm clipping. This is bullshit. Whatever. Let's see if I can turn. Oh fuck, I can't. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can turn myself down just a little bit because I keep clipping.
Okay.
Which mic am I? Oh man.
So on any of the songs we have on Spotify, we're supposed to be able to write a description or actually submit the lyrics, for example, so that people can listen to the music and read the lyrics at the same time. I don't know how hard that would be, but it would be you who would know how to do it, because it'd have to be through...
DistroKid?
Yeah, it'd have to be through DistroKid.
I think...
See if it's an option next time you upload something, but for now, whatever.
Okay, yeah, we can do something like that.
Yeah.
What's going on now? I feel like now I'm way too fucking low. God damn it.
I gotta go anyway, dude.
You have to go?
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I get home. I don't know.
I thought you said you can stay... pick up the mic. We're still talking.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I thought you were just looking at something. We had shut it off.
No, we're not. We're still going. You said you can stay here till 6.
In that initial exchange, I did quote 6 as a possible number, but her mother leaves at 5.
Oh.
And so I kind of have to be there.
Back at 5?
There. Well, I want to come a little early, so it's just kind of like just play my cards good, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
How long would you like these podcasts to be in the future?
I have no idea. Like, if they're just 30 minutes long, then we won't necessarily need to do the whole, like, clips thing.
Okay.
So, I don't know, man. People like... Oh, by the way, make sure you post a link to this on Instagram, because I think Instagram is where we have most of our fan base, right?
As far as I know, yes.
Maybe we can do these things where it's like... We can record it here,
Mm-hmm.
but also you can have your phone going at the same time.
Live.
Streaming on Instagram. So we can
That's
think about that
actually a
next
good
time.
idea.
Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully next time I'll have my the basement wired up, because I can do that one somewhat easy. I just need to get off my ass and do that. So you can sit in the basement.
I am like that myself, my friend.
You can hang out in the basement and smoke your tobacco.
Yeah.
And I can be up here working on just running the whole thing, make sure everything's working correctly.
That's cool. Oh, so will he actually be physically in different rooms?
Yeah.
That's cool. That brings a different element to it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know, like I said, we can do it that way, but we can also just do it this way as well if you want to. Do it face to face. There's more of like an energy to that.
Well, just send me the link and I'll post it for sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, he has to go. He has a family to take care of. All right. Goodbye. Like I said, this is the Taubnernaut podcast. Don't ask me what episode this is because I lost count a long time ago. We have like episodes scattered across all kinds of places.
And dude, you have to write the theme song. This is
we need a theme song.
Not a whole song, but like the intro. You know, a little audio clip. This is the Taubnernaut podcast, and then like.
Actually, this is one song that I wrote a long time ago. It's like my favorite song that I recorded. It's called "Return the Old Ways," and a lot of times I use that as a intro and an outro. Like part of it is like the intro, the beginning of the song is the intro, and like the tail end of the song is like the outro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know. We might do that, but I might feel spicy and make a brand new theme song. So, all two of the people listening, give me your feedback. All right. So, yeah, like I said, this is a This is the Taubnernaut podcast. Goodbye.